Well, now also it's like if you wanted to go watch something live, you can't afford to go watch Beyonce, so you got to find something else because all these damn concerts are so impossibly expensive because Ticketmaster has a monopoly.
Yeah.
Allegedly, don't sue us.
And they're not that expensive. I saw The Weeknd, and it wasn't that.
How much did you pay?
Like $300.
Yeah, fuck that. I'm not paying $300
But
for
it was
tickets.
for 2 people.
I'm not paying that much for tickets. But then you also got to pay for parking, got to pay for food and all that shit.
No, I didn't pay for parking, and I ate before.
Ooh, frugal bastard.
Yeah. I mean, this is smart. I'm not about to pay
Making money moves.
I'm not about to pay $10 for a hot dog.
Exactly.
And I'm not about to pay $100 for parking. You can't even find parking like that. I had to walk. I mean, it wasn't a terrible experience. I had a great time.
I don't like concerts.
Really? I had a great time. I'd
rather be like at a small ass venue. I don't want to go to some fucking big ass place.
You're tripping. Weeknd had an amazing concert. That shit was amazing.
Well, it's because he can put on a live performance.
Yeah. Yeah. It was a big
But what I'm saying is I don't want to be around that many people.
It wasn't bad.
I like a more intimate venue.
It wasn't bad. It was there was a lot of people, but it was at the AT&T Stadium, so they can handle it. I wasn't crowded. I wasn't touching nobody. I was just sitting down in my seat.
Fuck that big ass stadium.
Yeah,
Fuck that shit.
It was big. But yeah, it was a great time. I'm pretty sure the Beyonce concert will be amazing too. Amazing.
I'm scared to know how much it's gonna cost.
The only reason it costs so much is because of the resale.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. It's the whole issue with Monopoly is a lot of it's not even really resale. What Ticketmaster does a lot is they say tickets are sold, but then they're selling them to the resale sites.
Also, there's a lot of bots.
Well, that too, of course.
Yeah.
But that's anything.
That's an issue. But that's a big issue. It's the same thing that happens with shoes.
Not as much nowadays, luckily.
Yeah, not as much, but it happened.
Or with fucking GPUs whenever.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very big thing. And like you said, there's the conspiracies of the Ticketmaster.
No, there's no conspiracy. Well, by conspiracy, actual conspiracy.
Is it actual fact?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
They may also strike deals with the fucking artists too, where the artists will then resell shit.
That sounds illegal.
Well, it is. It's called antitrust.
So are they being sued for that?
Yeah, right now the government is really like looking into them right now.
Oh, so they don't have like a lot of like evidence to sue them right now. They're looking into it.
Well, basically, they have to do there's a lot of things that go into it, but they're currently going through early stages of the procedure of antitrust.
Okay.
So hopefully it gets broken up because they literally are the main place that sells tickets. They also own the venues. So typically, like, I don't know if I have it on my phone, but there was like a artist describing how it worked, like how it's historically worked within the industry regarding how like basically all the different agreements that get made. I don't know if I have it.
I know there's certain production companies like Live Nation.
That's the same company.
Yeah, they own a lot of venues. Like, where it's more smaller venues, they own a lot of that. So they get the money from the ticket sales, the venue, all that, the food you buy there. But like these big artists that go on stadium tours, not sure how much they own in the stadiums they play in. But it's crazy that.
But most artists are not those.
Yeah, true. But at the same time,
and those also are the ones that the big artists. They're the ones that Ticketmaster will make deals with.
But at the same time, the smaller artists aren't the ones the tickets are crazy high.
But they're also the ones screwed over because the people who are supposed to negotiate on their behalf are negotiating with themselves because they own the venues.
Yeah, so
that's where the biggest issue comes into.
Oh, so it's more like the artists, not consumers.
What? Yeah, on that side. Well, on the smaller end, the issue is the artists get fucked. But on the big side, it's the consumers.
Yeah.
I cannot.
But I'm not mad at them owning the venues.
They shouldn't.
Why?
Because they're the ones who are. So how it works is whenever you're an artist, you have to make a deal with Ticketmaster because it's realistically your only option. With that, they're supposed to negotiate on your behalf with the venues.
Why?
Because that's just how it works. They're managing your tour essentially.
Ticketmaster is managing your tour?
Or whatever company that they own that you have a deal with.
Why don't you have a tour manager?
Here's the thing. You have a tour manager, but the issue is you have to go through the Ticketmaster system because then they will not allow you to play at the venues unless you play by their rules. Because Live Nation owns the venues.
Okay.
So what happens is the artists that have tried to rebel against them, then they have to try to do the tours themselves. But then all the venues will not work with them, because if they work with them, those venues can no longer work with Ticketmaster.
Okay. So
then those venues will basically go under, because they can't get enough performances there to make money, make their money.
Yeah.
Because all the artists now can't work with them because Ticketmaster.
So the issue is Live Nation is charging these artists a lot of money.
The issue comes down to, on the smaller end of things, is they're supposed to negotiate. So Ticketmaster, I don't remember the exact structure of it, but they're supposed to negotiate on their behalf with the venues for their rates, because you have to break down the rates on how much do you get per ticket, how much of concessions, et cetera, et cetera. They're supposed to negotiate on your behalf, but if they're negotiating with themselves, then they don't really have to negotiate for you. So because they're getting money no matter what.
So they're taking a higher percentage of...
Yes. So they end up taking a higher percentage. So if the traditional way things were, you might come out with 20%. I don't know the exact numbers, but how it works now, you're probably getting 10 or 15%.
So I don't know if I'm upset.
You should be.
Because they own the venues.
You're always on the side of the big companies, I feel like.
I mean, it's not my fault. This country is structured like that. They're just taking advantage of what the structure is in the country. Like, why are you mad at it? You got to be mad at the government and where we are, like the capitalistic mindset. You got to be mad at that.
Well, here's the thing. If you don't get mad at them, then you're just always turning a blind eye to the horrible shit that's going on, just because, oh, the government should deal with it. I shouldn't be mad at these people for doing what they're doing. It's like, no, you should be mad at both.
I guess. I don't know if I'm that upset at them just doing what they're allowed to do. It's like, I don't know. If you're upset at that, then you're upset of every corporation in this country.
So, okay, here's a hypothetical.
Yeah.
Say the purge was a real thing, and then someone killed a family member of yours. Are you not supposed to be mad at the person who killed that family member because you should be mad at the government? No, you should be mad at both of them. The person for carrying out the actions of killing someone, and the government for allowing this.
I'll be more mad at the government for allowing it.
I'll be mad at both.
Yeah, but I'll be more mad at the government allowing it. I'll be more upset in protest of the actual
But
law.
you should be mad at the motherfucker, because why are you just going out and killing people just because it's legal?
First of all, this is not a great analogy. First of all, it's not a great analogy.
Well, I'm just giving you an example where
you're talking about death.
Okay, and what I'm trying to give you is an example that's outside of business, where horrible shit would happen.
I guess it's more like, are you upset that companies pay less or pay people less because they can and they can make more money?
Yes.
Yeah, I can be mad at that.
It's like, yes, I'm mad at both.
Yeah.
The government should go there and break it up, which is hopefully what's going to happen. But they also shouldn't be doing it even if they're allowed to.
Yeah.
When people start talking about the argument of ethical capitalism, well, that's the whole thing it comes down to, is the people that are involved need to have some level of ethics.
But there needs to be laws in place that can prevent this from happening.
Yes,
but I think that's the bigger issue.
What I'm saying is, the issue is government allows it, and then entities are being pieces of shit because there's a whole fucking psychological thing of, oh, I'm not doing the wrong. It's just because it's what the company's going to do.
I'm saying,
it's like, no, fuck both of y'all.
Yeah, fuck both of y'all. But I'm more upset that it's an actual thing that they can do. I'm not upset people are assholes, because people are always assholes all the time. People are dicks. It's going to happen. If you're going to be mad at, you're going to
be mad at both of them with me.
But I would definitely be more upset at the laws in place to make this happen. And it's not going to change. Like, you can't change that. I guess there needs to be more competition in this environment.
Well, and also it's like, they should not be allowed to own the venues if they're the ones negotiating it. That's why Disney doesn't own movie theaters, is because there's laws that keep that from happening.
Yeah.
And they better not repeal that law, because that's going to be a fucking problem.
There's laws that prevent that happening. So there need to be laws in place.
They need to do it.
Exactly. Exactly.
But then also, don't be a piece of shit company.
Don't be a piece of shit company. That's contradictory.
I know. That's why else just... that's the problem with public companies, is it just becomes, oh, how do we make more money?
Exactly.
And it's like, okay, I get that. But just because you can doesn't mean you should.
Exactly. But
shout out to Jurassic Park.
I guess I can't be upset at it, because...
Yes, you can be upset.
At the same time, I want to make more money. There's going to be things.
But are you going to do unethical things to do that? Or where there's a conflict of interest?
See, and I guess that's different. Unethical, it could be different definitions of what is unethical in business. Because I don't think billionaires are billionaires, or people are rich by making non-ethical decisions. Like if you're firing somebody and they can't afford to do it, is it unethical or is it ethical? You gotta make a decision from your company based off like, what you need for your company. So I don't know. Am I gonna make unethical decisions?
Yes, apparently.
You can say that's fucking somebody over if you're firing them and they can't afford anything and now they're.
But then you could argue, depending on what you're firing for, they might be fucking you over. So then it's ethical in that point because they're already been fucking you over, so you're just protecting yourself.
So are layoffs unethical?
Is breaking up with somebody unethical?
I don't think so. But I can say that if you're purposefully ripping somebody off or screwing them over, I can definitely say that's
if you're purposely doing it, yeah.
I'm not going to purposely do that.
It doesn't sound like it based on this conversation.
I'm going to do what's best for the business, but I'm not going allegedly, but I'm not going to, if I'm going to talk about it like a human being and to you and discuss like what's the best opportunity or best decision and then go from there. I don't know. Business is hard to deal with. It's difficult.
You monster.
It's difficult.
So basically, Summer, you're behind Ticketmaster.
No, not
you support them.
Not at all.
You support them in all practices they can do.
Not at all. I don't at all. But it's very, I guess it's tough to be mad without any like solution. Like what do you do?
The solution is let's pass some goddamn laws.
Yeah,
let's break up some corporations.
And that's why I said it's better to focus your energy on the laws in place because that's the only solution. What can you do? You can try to get more competition. So I guess like artists that have enough money can start investing in venues and that whole process to help other artists. But
isn't there also a conflict of interest there too?
Why?
Because then they're the ones that are performing concerts. Typically how you, as I said, you would negotiate with the venues themselves.
See, my point, I mean, not my point, but I guess I don't see an issue in that unless they are like screwing people over. If Live Nation owned the venues and also owned Ticketmaster, I wouldn't care if they actually gave a good deal with the artist, good percentage deal. But at the same time, what is a good percentage deal? Like for a company, you want the best deal you can get.
I mean, you could probably break down and figure out like, okay, what are fair returns on investments percentage wise? You could probably figure something out.
And do you think that?
No, they don't do that. They go, let's get as much percentage as we can get by owning everything.
Yeah. So they own everything. So you don't think
basically they're doing monopoly.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's basically what the issue is I think at some point, again, here's the problem with a public corporation versus a private one is with a private one, whoever's running it can make the decision of like, okay, yes, business-wise, it would make sense if we own both of them because then we have control of the market. But then you can also think of like, oh, then we're going down the route of being a monopoly.
Yeah, but what owner is going to say, okay, I'm not going to do that.
If they have some level of ethics.
And I'm going to invite competition to here and possibly lose out on.
You'd be surprised. A lot of private like business owners, they understand the fact of like, okay, monopoly should not exist in the space. You have a level of competition of like, I want to be number one in the space, but
yeah,
if we are a monopoly in the space, well, then it's not good for the space overall. It's good for us specifically, but for the space, it could be bad long term.
Yeah. I don't know if that's the sense. I guess it's not the sense for this.
But the thing is with public companies is the people running them, the executive board, are fiduciary, like their responsibility legally is to raise the value of the stock price, which corresponds with the amount of profits they make.
Yeah.
So of course they have the responsibility to make whatever decision possible to make more money, which leads to monopoly. So basically the issue comes down to is public companies are fucked up just theoretically are fucked up.
Yeah. But
then also if you're someone who doesn't want to own a business, but you're working on your retirement, well, that's how you do it.
Exactly. Like, I mean, Business is tough. It's tough. There needs to be, to fix this, there needs to be a law for monopolizing, and it needs to be more
Basically, the business
competition.
world is literally just like geopolitics, where it's like, okay, if we all have nukes, when should we use them?
Yeah.
That's what it kind of turns into.
Yeah, it's the laws.
It's like, okay, when should I make a decision that will lead us to being monopolies?
Yeah, because of the capitalistic mindset. Make more money. Let's get all the money as you can get. Yeah.
In summary, we're fucked. Peace.